Hello, everyone. The episode today is one of those that you will want to listen until the very end. What we are going to talk about here can save not only your money, but also your pride when it is time to pay a bill. I am Susan, and my partner Tom, well, Tom looks like he just came back from a war.
I am indignant, Susan. Seriously, my heart is still beating fast. But before I tell you the disaster that happened today, let me greet our listeners. Hello to all of you listening to us in every corner of the world. Welcome to our studio.
I love the politeness, Tom, even if you are nervous. But now, please, take this weight off your chest. What happened?
Susan, I learned today that in English, math is tricky. I went to buy a new pair of headphones this morning. I saw the big tag, $19.99. I had a $20 bill in my hand, Susan. I was even smiling, thinking, I'm going to pay, there will be 1 cent left, and I will go around listening to my favorite podcast.
And the smile turned into confusion at the cashier, right?
It was a shock. When the specialist scanned the headphones, the screen showed almost $22. I froze. I looked at my $20 bill, I looked at the screen, I looked at him, and he just stood there staring at me with that face like he couldn't do anything. I almost asked if his machine was broken or if he was overcharging me.
Many people want to ask that, Tom, but that is the famous sales tax. In many places, like in the United States, the tax is not printed on the tag. It only appears when you are finishing the purchase at the counter.
But Susan, that doesn't make sense. If the real price is not 19, why don't they write the actual price once and for all? Why hide these extra dollars? I felt very lost. It felt like I didn't know how to add.
I understand you. It is a rule that confuses anyone. The lesson here is the price you see on the shelf is almost never the final price. Always have some extra dollars for the tax, or you will go through the same trouble Tom did.
Well, live and learn. And the worst part is that I tried to use my coins to complete the value, Susan, but they're a trap. I took a bigger and thicker one. I thought it was worth a lot, but it was the nickel. Then the tiniest one, the dime, was worth double. I stood there trying to compare their size in the palm of my hand, and the people in line were starting to huff behind me.
Coins are confusing because we want to follow the logic of the size. But remember, the dime is the smallest one in size, but it is worth 10 cents. The nickel is bigger, but it is only worth 5. Don't look at the size. Focus on the name and the color.
I learned the lesson. But you know, Susan, this brought back a horrible memory. Do you remember when I went to the Apple store for the first time?
Oh, I remember you were radiant to buy your new iPhone.
Radiant? I was over the moon. I dreamed about that phone for weeks. I imagined the screen, the color. I walked into that store, which is beautiful, all white with those huge wooden tables and everything shining, feeling like a king. And the service there is VIP, right? The guy who came to talk to me wasn't just a salesman. He introduced himself as a specialist.
Exactly. At Apple, the specialists are experts who guide you through the whole technical process.
And he was impeccable. He explained everything about the storage, which is the space to keep my photos and videos. He showed me the high-resolution screen. I was feeling great speaking English with him, understanding everything about technology. Then came the moment of truth, the moment to pay that high value.
And that was when the dream of being a king ended?
Susan, I took out my card with all the confidence. The specialist held the machine. I tapped the card with a smile on my face and beep, a sharp, dry sound. He looked at the screen, made a face like he felt very sorry for me, and said the phrase that I hear in my nightmares. I'm sorry, sir, it was declined.
Phew, declined. That is a word that hurts anyone's ears, Tom. What did you do then?
Susan, I felt my face getting hot immediately. It's a very annoying situation, very embarrassing. I looked at the specialist, I looked at the iPhone there in front of me, and the only thing I could say was, wait, why? I didn't know where to hide.
I imagine. But the secret, everyone, is not to let the embarrassment freeze your speech. If your card is rejected, the vendor might use some variations. They might say, it was declined, the transaction didn't go through, or even something more direct, like, it's not working.
The guy was very polite. He said, it didn't go through, sir. But the silence after that felt like it lasted an hour. I started fumbling in my wallet looking for money, but I hardly ever carry much cash. I only had paper for a coffee.
And that is exactly why we need to have some saving phrases ready. Instead of just getting red and apologizing, you can take control of the situation. Guys, repeat these options with me to buy some time. Give me a second, please. I need to check something. I need to check my bank app. I might need to authorize the payment.
I need to check my bank app. I used that one. I took my current phone, which was already old, that's why I wanted the new one, and opened the app with my hand shaking. I needed to check my balance.
Great word. Folks, take note. Balance here has nothing to do with physical balance. It's your bank balance.
Yes, I looked at the screen and thought, wait, the money's here. I had available funds, meaning I had funds available for the purchase. Susan, why did the machine say no if I had the money?
Because banks are very strict with security, Tom. If you make a high-value purchase in an electronics store and it's not something you do every day, they block it for security. At that moment, you can explain to the vendor, my bank probably blocked it for security.
My bank probably blocked it for security. That sounds very good. It feels like the problem is the bank's fault, not that I don't have money, right?
Exactly. It takes away the weight of the embarrassment. And after you go into the app and release the access, you can ask to try again. Guys, say it like this. Can we try again? Let's try one more time. Can you run the card again?
I used that one. Can we try again? He ran the card and beep beep, the sound of joy. I almost hugged the specialist.
I'm glad it worked out. But Tom, what if the problem was something else? What if you had forgotten that the money was already committed to a bill?
Oh, Susan, don't even get me started. I'm the master of forgetting the due date.
Due date is the expiration date. If you live abroad or pay for services in English, you need to keep an eye on your bill. If you pay after the due date, what happens, Tom?
You pay the terrible late fee.
Exactly, the penalty for being late. Everyone, imagine you're calling the internet company because the bill came back high. You can say, why is my bill so high this month? Or, is there a late fee on my account?
I already had to say, I forgot the due date, sorry. The English of adult life is very practical, isn't it, Susan? It's bills and fees all the time.
It is true, Tom. Adult life everywhere involves dealing with bills and taxes. But you know one thing that confuses many people, and not just those starting in English, is the culture of tips.
Oh, the tips. Susan, that's a mystery to me. I never know when to give, how much to give, or if I'm obligated to give. It's a huge pressure when it's time to close the bill.
I understand. It changes a lot from country to country. In the United States, for example, the tip is almost mandatory because it's part of the salary of the person serving you. But in other places, like in Europe or parts of Asia, it's not common or it's already included.
Yes, I'm afraid of being cheap or looking exaggerated. The other day, I went to get a coffee, and on the machine, it appeared 15%, 20%, 25%. I looked at that and thought, I just ordered a black coffee? Do I have to give a 20% tip?
Calm down, Tom. In coffee shops, usually you don't need to be so generous if it's just a counter. But in restaurants, the general rule is between 15 and 20%. Guys, if you're in doubt, you can ask using these phrases to ask discreetly. Is the tip included? Is service included in the bill? How much is the customary tip around here?
Is the tip included? That's a good one, because if it's already there, I don't need to worry. But Susan, there's something else the specialist at Apple did that left my head spinning.
What was it?
I tell you, he didn't say the price of the iPhone the way I learned in school. I expected to hear $1,200, but he said something that sounded like $1,200. I froze again.
Oh, that's very common. Instead of saying $1,200, natives usually count the hundreds. So 1,200 becomes 1,200.
But why do they do that? Isn't it harder?
Actually, it's faster. Think about it. 1,200 is a long phrase. 1,200 is only 2 words. Folks, pay attention to this pattern because you'll hear it all the time in prices and even in years. 1,500 becomes 1,500. 2,800 becomes 2,800.
Wow, Susan. If I heard 2,800 without this explanation, I think it would be a number from another planet. So if my rent is 1,100, I can say 1,100.
Exactly. You're already sounding like a native. And there's one more thing about prices. They rarely say dollars and cents all the time. If something costs $5.50, they just say $5.50.
$5.50. It's much more direct, isn't it? I used to try to say $5.50, and it felt like I was reading a contract.
Yes. In daily life, the language seeks shortcuts. Everyone, try to practice these shortcuts today. Look at any price and try to say it the fast way. Instead of $10.99, just say $10.99.
I like it. $10.99. It feels like the conversation flows better without getting stuck on the cents.
Yes, in daily life, the language seeks shortcuts. So, Tom, I feel that today your wallet and your head got a little lighter.
For sure, Susan. When you understand these shortcuts, it feels like the world of money becomes less scary. And nowadays, things are changing even more with the apps, aren't they?
Oh, a lot. Today I hardly touch paper. It's all on the phone. But Susan, how do I say when I want to send money to someone through the app? You know, that instant transfer we do now to anyone?
That's what we call a transfer. You can say, I'll transfer the money to you. In some countries, people use specific app names as verbs, but if you use the term transfer, everyone in the world will understand you perfectly.
Transfer. I'll transfer the money to you. And what if I need to pay someone and they give me their bank account information?
Then you ask, can you send me your banking info? But guys, stay alert to an important word, fee. If you make a transfer between different banks or to another country, there might be a transaction fee, which is the service charge.
Another fee, Susan? Fee for everything. But it's good to know so I'm not caught by surprise when the balance is lower than I expected.
Yes, Susan. Financial life in English is full of these little words that make a huge difference at the end of the month. Folks, my recommendation today is that you start observing the prices around you and try to transform them into this fast format we learned. This trains your ear for real life.
I'm going to start today. Susan, thank you so much for today. I came in here frustrated, and I'm leaving with the feeling that the next time I'm not going to freeze in front of the specialist.
That's the spirit, Tom. And to you who followed us until here, our big thank you. We know that your time is precious, and we're very happy that you chose to spend these minutes learning and evolving with us.
It's true. It's an immense pleasure to have your company. Every time we record an episode, I feel that we're growing together. You're not alone in this journey, you know. I also go through my tough times, as you saw today. Exactly, Tom. And if you want to continue in this rhythm of learning, there's much more content waiting for you here on the channel. There's a video appearing now on your screen that will help you take the next step on this path. Just click and continue this conversation with us.
I'm going to watch it too to stay sharp. Guys, thank you so much indeed for the special company today. Keep practicing, don't give up, and remember, every small step counts.
A huge hug to each of you. Practice, listen again if you need to, and we'll see you in the next meeting. Until then,
Bye-bye, everyone.
bye-bye, Tom. Bye-bye.